Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when everything comes crashing down. Moments that steal your laughter, shatter your dreams, and leave you questioning, why me? Pain is not just a wound. It is a teacher, a sculptor, a fire that either consumes you or forges you into something greater. I once believed that strength meant avoiding pain. Now I know it means facing it. Not running from the storm, but learning to dance in the rain. Not silencing the tears, but letting them water the roots of your resilience. You are not your scars. You are not your failures. You are not what broke you. You are what you choose to become after the fall. Let your pain speak not as a victim, but as a victor. Let it whisper wisdom. Let it echo strength. When the world tells you you can't, let your courage rise up and say, watch me. Use your pain as fuel. Turn your wounds into wings. Your story, yes, your story has the power to ignite hope in others. But first, you must believe that the ashes of your past can become the fire of your future. This is not the end. This is the beginning of your becoming. Pain is not just an emotion, it is an awakening. It doesn't come to destroy you, but to reveal you to yourself. In the stillness after the chaos, when the noise of the world fades, and all you're left with is your breath and your bruises, pain becomes a mirror. It forces you to confront parts of yourself you've hidden, truths you've ignored, and strengths you never knew existed. It speaks a language deeper than words and teaches lessons that comfort never could. Most people fear pain because it feels like the end. But it is never the end, it is the beginning of real learning. When everything you depended on falls apart, when the people you trusted walk away, when your plans shatter like glass pane whispers, this is where you grow. No textbook can teach you the lessons that heartbreak, failure, and loss can. Pain strips away the surface and invites you to dig deeper, to ask better questions. Who am I now? What do I value? What will I fight for? It is through pain that we meet the parts of ourselves that are unshakable. In those moments of despair, when you're down on your knees with tears streaming and hope flickering, you discover resilience. You learn that your worth was never tied to success or perfection, but to your ability to rise, to endure, to keep breathing when your world is on fire. Pain teaches humility, empathy, and strength in a way comfort never can. It carves wisdom into your soul. With every wound, so many people try to run from their pain, numb it, deny it, but pain demands to be heard, not feared. The moment you stop resisting and start listening, you realize it's not your enemy. It's your mentor, the one that pushes you out of mediocrity and into purpose. It doesn't sugarcoat life. It shows you the raw, unfiltered truth. And in that truth, in that breaking, something beautiful begins to form a stronger, wiser, more courageous you. We live in a world that tells us to smile through the pain, to toughen up, to hide the tears behind practiced faces. But real strength isn't found in pretending you're unshaken, it's in standing tall while trembling. It's in letting your truth be seen, even when your voice cracks. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the courage to show up exactly as you are, without masks, without defenses, with your heart open and exposed to the world. It takes far more strength to say, I am hurting, than it does to say, I'm fine. When you allow yourself to feel deeply and speak honestly, you invite healing in. Vulnerability creates connection, it builds bridges between souls. In your rawness, you give others permission to feel too. When you choose to be real instead of perfect, you break the chains of shame and silence. You prove that strength isn't about being untouched by life, it's about being transformed by it. There is immense power in saying, I don't have all the answers. I'm still figuring it out. Because when you own your struggle, you take back control from fear. You stop performing for acceptance and start embracing authenticity. The bravest people are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who admit when they've fallen and still rise, with scars visible and spirit unhidden. Vulnerability doesn't make you fragile, it makes you real. And real is where true strength lives. The world might praise the polished and the perfect, but it's the broken and honest hearts that truly move us. The ones who carry their past not as a weight, but as a reminder of how far they've come. When you choose to let others see your process, not just your victories, you become a light in someone else's darkness. You show them that it's okay to cry, to ask for help, to be unsure and still keep going. That is strength in its most fearless form. There will be moments when life tries to define you by what has happened to you. People will look at your scars and see only the struggle, never the strength it took to survive. They'll reduce your identity to your setbacks, your limitations, your losses. But let me tell you something that many forget to say: you are not what you've been through. You are not your worst day, not your darkest chapter, not the chaos life threw at you. You are the author of what comes next. Circumstances may shape the path, but they do not shape the soul. Yes, life might break your plans, but it can never break your purpose unless you allow it to. What happened to you is real. The pain, the rejection, the silence, the storm, it all mattered. But it doesn't define you unless you decide it does. There is a you beyond the labels, beyond the damage, beyond the moment everything fell apart. That version of you, the true you, still exists, waiting to rise. People may see your past, but you have the power to show them your future. You are allowed to grow beyond the environment you were born into. You are allowed to walk away from the identity the world tried to assign you. You are allowed to rewrite the story. Just because you come from struggle doesn't mean you have to stay in it. Just because your beginnings were broken doesn't mean your ending can't be beautiful. Never let the temporary chapter convince you it's your whole story. You are not a reflection of your pain. You are a reflection of your potential. The struggle didn't come to steal your worth. It came to reveal it. And as long as you believe that your future is not bound to your past, then you have already begun to reclaim your power. Your circumstances are real, yes, but they are not you. You are the resilience, the hope, the fire that rises anyway. Scars are often seen as something to be ashamed of, something to cover, to hide, to forget. But a scar is not a symbol of weakness. It is evidence that you survived. It's the quiet testimony of a battle fought, a storm weathered, a wound healed. Every scar on your body, every scar on your soul holds a story that deserves to be honored, not erased. Because that story says you made it through. We don't get to choose how life wounds us. Sometimes it comes suddenly, like a storm we didn't see coming. Other times it creeps in slowly, like a shadow that grows over time. But no matter how it arrives, pain leaves a mark. And that mark, your scar, is not the end. It's the beginning of a story worth telling. It's proof that what tried to break you didn't succeed. It's a reminder that healing is possible, even if it's not always perfect or pretty. Some of the most beautiful souls are not the ones who've never been hurt, but the ones who wear their scars with quiet pride. They don't speak in anger or bitterness, but in wisdom. They don't hide their wounds, they use them to connect, to comfort, to say, I've been there too. Your scars make you relatable. They make you real. They carry empathy in a world that often forgets how to feel. They are not signs of damage, they are signs of depth. There is a moment in every journey when you must make a choice, remain the victim of your story or rise as the hero of it. Life can be cruel, unfair, and heartbreaking. It can leave you feeling powerless, like everything is happening to you. But somewhere within that pain, there is a shift waiting to happen. A moment when you look in the mirror and decide, I will no longer be defined by what hurt me. That decision is the first step from victimhood to victory. Being a victim is not a weakness, it's a phase of pain we all pass through. But staying there is a choice. It's the mindset that says, this is who I am now, instead of this is what happened. But it is not where I'll stay. You were never meant to live your life trapped in the hands of your past. The world may have broken something in you, but it didn't take away your power to rebuild. A victor doesn't deny the pain, they transform it into purpose. When you say, watch me, you're not denying your wounds, you're declaring your worth. You're not pretending it didn't hurt, you're proving that it didn't you. The moment you stop waiting for someone else to rescue you, and instead choose to rescue yourself, that is when you reclaim your life. That is when the world begins to see not what happened to you, but what is now rising from you. A victor doesn't just survive, they lead, they inspire, they become living proof that strength is born in struggle. Pain can feel like a weight heavy, exhausting, relentless. But what if instead of letting it hold you down, you learn to use it to lift yourself higher? Pain is energy. It is fire trapped inside you, waiting to be released. When you stop fighting against it and start channeling it, pain becomes the fuel that propels you forward. It becomes the spark that ignites your passion, the fire that burns away doubt, and the power that drives you toward your dreams. Every great story of triumph is born from moments of struggle. The people who have achieved greatness didn't have less pain than you, they simply chose to use theirs differently. They transformed the hurt into hunger, the setback into strength. That ache inside you isn't there to break you, it's there to build you. When you feel broken, that is exactly when your fuel is at its highest. It's raw, real, and ready to push you beyond limits you thought impossible. Using pain as fuel means refusing to let your suffering be wasted. It means taking the lessons from your hardships and turning them into motivation to work harder, dream bigger, and live louder. It means waking up every day, knowing that the fire inside you is stronger than the fears around you. Pain sharpens your focus, clarifies your purpose, and forces you to get creative with your courage. It teaches you to run faster, fight harder, and shine brighter because you know what it feels like to struggle. That your story is more than just a sequence of events, it is a beacon of hope. Every challenge you have faced, every moment of despair you have endured, carries a light that others desperately need to see. When you share your journey, you create a bridge of connection between your experience and someone else's pain. Your story becomes a reminder that no one is truly alone in their struggles, that survival is possible, and that healing can happen even in the darkest places. Often, we underestimate the impact our stories can have. We think our pain is too small, our failures too many, our past too broken to inspire anyone else. But the truth is, your authenticity, your willingness to be honest about your journey is a gift. It breaks down walls of isolation and builds a community of empathy. Your story can light a spark in someone who feels unseen or unheard, offering them permission to face their own battles with courage and grace. There is incredible strength in vulnerability, and sharing your story requires a kind of bravery that few possess. It means embracing your imperfections and knowing that your voice matters even if it trembles. Your story is a source of empowerment, not only for others but also for yourself. By telling it, you reclaim your narrative, transforming pain into purpose. You become a living testament to the power of resilience. Reminding the world and yourself that there is life after hardship. Life's hardest moments often feel like breaking points, times when everything inside you seems to shatter into a million pieces. But what if those pieces are not fragments of destruction, but building blocks of transformation? You are not breaking, you are becoming. Each crack, each fracture in your spirit is where light begins to seep in. It's the place where growth quietly starts, often unseen but deeply felt. The process is painful, yes, but it is also the beginning of a new, stronger version of yourself. Becoming is not about perfection or a sudden change. It is a slow, sometimes messy unfolding. It is the gentle rising after every fall, the small steps forward on days when moving feels impossible. When you embrace the idea that you are a work in progress, you give yourself permission to heal at your own pace. You stop demanding too much too soon and start honoring your journey with all its twists and turns. Becoming means choosing hope when despair wants to settle in. It means trusting that what feels like breaking is actually breaking through. So, when the weight of life threatens to crush you, remember this: every trial is not the end, but a transformation in progress. You are being remade by the fire, not consumed by it. Your becoming is a journey of resilience, hope, and courage. It's a testament that life's toughest challenges don't break you, they build you, piece by piece, into the magnificent person you were always meant to be. So today, I invite you to look at your pain differently. See it not as a chain that holds you back, but as the very fuel that can set your soul on fire. Remember, you are not your struggles, you are the strength that rises from them. Your scars are not marks of defeat, but meadows of survival. Every moment of vulnerability is a seed of courage, and every setback is a step forward in your becoming. Stand tall in your truth. Embrace your story with all its shadows and light. Let your pain teach you, let it shape you, but never let it define you. Because within you lies a power greater than any hardship, an unstoppable power to transform, to heal, to inspire. You have the strength to move from victim to victor, from silence to voice, from despair to hope. So rise. Rise with the knowledge that your story matters, that your journey is not in vain, and that your power is waiting to be unleashed. This is your moment to transform pain into power, to become the warrior of your own life, to shine not despite the darkness you have faced, but because of it.